What's up everybody, it's Mike and welcome back to Made Up Universe. Today we're going to talk about Han Solo movie and review it with spoilers, coming right up. Please consider subscribing to my channel for more geeky goodness and leave a like right there. Solo, a Star Wars story, is a movie about young Han Solo and how he became a scoundrel and a smuggler. Solo, a Star Wars story was not a movie I wanted. I thought it's simply not needed in Star Wars universe. On top of that, once in production, this movie was permanently attached to trouble. The directors were fired and were replaced by Ron Howard. That gave me a little bit more hope as he's a world-class director. Also, Kasdans were attached to this production and they were responsible for the script, and as you know, they worked on the original trilogy. But still, there were a lot of rumors that this movie is gonna be terrible. Finally, they released the teaser and the trailer, and once I saw the actual footage from this movie, it gave me a lot more confidence in this movie. And still, I wasn't expecting a phenomenal movie. I was just expecting a simple adventure in Star Wars universe, and that is what this movie proved to be. I don't think that this movie adds a lot to Star Wars universe, but I got to say I liked this movie. But saying that, I don't want to see more movies like that, and I'll get to that a little bit later. In the movie, we can see Han Solo being involved in a gangster life, and he meets his best friend Chewbacca. He's being thrown into the hole in the ground where he's supposed to be eaten by this monster that turns out to be Chewie. How can you call Chewie a monster? He's adorable. Han speaks Chewbacca language and they decided to find a way out of it together. I got to say that Chewie and Han dynamics were captured very well in this movie. Once they are together, you can almost immediately feel the connection. And I think that's the biggest value this movie brings. It shows how the greatest friendship in the galaxy was created. Alden also managed to portray fantastic Han Solo. He's not Harrison Ford, but he still gives him justice. And I'm totally fine with Alden being young Han Solo. Whether he's got an acting coach or not, he did great. One of the biggest strengths of this movie were the three original characters. Lando is introduced in the movie and he's so brilliant. Donald Glover was a great choice, and whatever he touches, he turns it into artistic gold. Everything you heard about him is true. So let's talk about Qi'ra now. I think that if you like Emilia Clarke, you would like Qi'ra in Han Solo movie, but if you don't like her the way she is normally, I don't think you would enjoy her that much. So I like the way she is, I enjoyed her character, but I think that there was zero chemistry between her and Han Solo. There is a lot more chemistry between Han Solo and Chewie. I think majority of the characters in Solo movie were okay. Woody Harrelson as Tobias Beckett was interesting and intriguing. Paul Bettany as Dryden was menacing. We didn't get enough of Val and Rio Durant, and I think that their full potential was not utilized and they were dead before one actually managed to develop any connection with these characters. If it comes to L337, I really have mixed feelings about her. She was fun sometimes, but all these elements of the social justice warrior were just unnecessary and it didn't make this movie any better, it actually made it worse. And I completely wasn't mad when she died. Initially, Enfys Nest seemed like a really interesting character. We've seen her fighting with Solo and Beckett on that single rail. Costume design is amazing, and the whole idea about her being a pirate and an opponent was quite interesting. But then the reveal that she's just a girl who's part of the resistance was a little bit underwhelming. I was expecting that once they revealed who she is, it might be a little bit of a fan service related to maybe a character that we know from other like comic books or TV shows or something like that. But it did feel a little bit underwhelming for me. The overall story is quite easy to follow. It's not really the most ambitious script I've ever seen, but I think it's okay. There were a few times where characters double-crossed each other and I found that interesting. I especially liked when Qi'ra turned her back on Han and chose the dark side. I also liked the moment when Han Solo brought the fuel to Dryden and then it turns out that Tobias Beckett was working with Dryden. One of the issues with this movie is that the stakes in that movie were not high ever, and even if the script was better, if it was like the most perfect script you can imagine, the stakes would still not be high because, well, we know how it all ends, right? We know that Han survives, Chewie survives, Lando survives, and somehow Millennium Falcon survives. And all of a sudden they also want to make Boba Fett movie and Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, and I believe that these two movies will suffer from exactly the same thing. We all know how it ends. Things I absolutely love about this movie are the overall design of this movie, the costumes, the variety of the characters, all the aliens, the color palette, and the Space Kraken. And I absolutely loved the entire castle run, all the chase, fighting with the TIE fighters and the Space Kraken. I mean, you probably got the idea that I really like Space Kraken by now, right? It is also worth mentioning the music in the movie. It's incredible. The score is perfect and I really enjoy that, and it gives the movie a lot. In this movie we've got tons of fan service, and one that I enjoyed in particular was the appearance of Darth Maul at the end. Now I'm just like sitting here and thinking like, what is the connection of Qi'ra and Darth Maul? What is her story? What's gonna happen between them? Saying that, please do not make a movie about it. Explain it in comic book or cartoon or in normal book. Anywhere else, don't make a movie about it. This movie is also an origin of Millennium Falcon. It was interesting experience seeing how Han Solo got his famous Millennium Falcon, and also I realized how he managed to ruin it so quickly. In this movie we don't get a great deal of character development if it comes to Han Solo. But saying that, we learn to know why Han is the way he is. Look at that. He was betrayed by two people he loved the most, Qi'ra and Beckett. And the last one he had to actually kill. So in the original trilogy, I'm not surprised that he doesn't want to establish a relationship and be a part of something bigger, and he doesn't really trust anyone. And as it turns out, only hairy creatures are truly loyal. Truly loyal. That's difficult to say. I personally liked this movie. I'm gonna give it 7 out of 10. But saying that, I hope this is the last movie like that. I think it's really time to move past the whole Skywalker saga and all these times. I want to experience new Star Wars movie that I don't really know how they end. I want to experience new Star Wars movie with new characters that I haven't met before, and seeing what happened after The Last Jedi, I think we shouldn't be touching anymore the characters of Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, or Princess Leia, or even Boba Fett or Obi-Wan Kenobi, Darth Maul. And that's it for today, guys, so thanks for watching. Please let me know if you enjoyed Solo: A Star Wars Story. Please tell me why, and if you didn't, please tell me why you didn't enjoy that movie. I hope you enjoyed that episode. Hit that subscribe button and smash that like button if that's something you're into, and see you next time in the Made Up Universe.